Hello, Salem High! In today's sports news, NFL tight end Rob Gronkowski has retired, very much sadly. Rob ended his 115-game career with 521 receptions, nearly 8,000 total yards, and 79 touchdowns. And in his 16 playoff games, he has come up clutch with 12 touchdowns.
He announced his retirement on Instagram about 1.5 months after winning his 3rd Super Bowl ring in his 9 seasons with the New England Patriots.
Patriots owner Robert Kraft had these words to say about him. Gronkowski quickly became a fan favorite and most dominant player in his position for nearly a decade. I look forward to honoring him as a Patriots and Football Hall of Famer.
One of his major career accomplishments was his record, his 50th touchdown in his 59th game, which was 33 games faster than the fastest tight end.
His health was a key factor in his decision for retirement, though. He has been dealing with Achilles tendonitis and a bulging disc in his back that is said to be slowing him down, as all the sources say. And now, one of our latest segments, which is honestly kind of depressing. The recent massacre in New Zealand left 50 people dead and only one suspect has been found. On March 15th, a 28-year-old Brenton Tarrant is suspected to have shot and killed 50 Muslim worshippers.
This attack was hinted at before it occurred. Analysts say that it has much to do with online radicalism and the authorities' failure to assess the threats posed by the white supremacists, with Tarrant being one of them. Some people also argue that it is the normalization of anti-immigrant and Islamophobic views by politicians and media outlets.
New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has announced that the Royal Commission will investigate the mass shooting. The inquiry will look at what could have or should have been done to prevent the attack, Ardern said after her cabinet agreed on the inquiry.
Tarrant is suspected of the shooting after he claims that he has inspired the attack. New Zealand law enforcement are searching for Tarrant to learn more about the shooting, hence the fact he is currently missing.
Okay, everyone, time to lighten the mood a little bit. For this next story, we will be covering the Skills USA competition Salem High School students recently competed in. Well, Skills USA is an organization centered around providing America with skilled workforces. Well, they also do this by holding competitions. Knocked over the paper. They do this by holding competitions to boost career and technical education students' involvement and preparation for their prospective careers.
We are so lucky to have an organization dedicated to the students who will go on to build our future and to be able to have held our students of Salem High participate.
In New Hampshire State competition, students participated in events such as advertising design, IT services, carpentry, and many more. These students put in many hours preparing and practicing for their contests, leading to Salem High taking home 25 medals, 7 boxes bronze, 7 silver, 7 gold?
11.
It makes me envious.
He meant to say 11 gold. But congratulations to the many medalists who work very hard to achieve this goal. Good luck, medalists, who will be going to the national competition, the 55th Annual National Leadership and Skills Confrontation in New Zealand, Kentucky this June.
Louisiana.
Sorry.
Okay, everyone. Well, it's time to discuss something very amazing. Or should I say, marvelous.
It's time for our next story. Noelle, will you do the honors?
Heck yeah, I mean, of course, Nina. Avengers Endgame is the upcoming movie to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also known as the MCU.
You seem very passionate about this subject, don't you, Noelle?
Yeah, I am. The MCU is the magnum opus made by the Russo bros that started off with Iron Man, starring Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Also, the film was a massive hit with audiences that gained a sequel known as Iron Man 2, or Dos if you're Spanish. This was the start of Phase 1 in the MCU.
Hey, Don't forget about the other Marvel movies in Phase 1, like Captain America, the First Avenger, starring Chris Evans, Thor, starring Chris Hemsworth, and The Incredible Hulk.
Man, no one really talks about that last one.
Very true, but today we're going to talk about the Russo Bros and upcoming movies and the future of the Marvel Universe.
I thought we were talking about the whole thing.
What? No, you microcephalic allopate. We're talking about the Russo Bros.
Oh, right. Well, the Russo Bros directed a great majority of the MCU to what we know it as today. They've created most of the Avengers series, with their greatest work being Avengers Infinity War.
The upcoming film, Spider-Man Far From Home, directed by John Watts, is starring Tom Holland, aka the best Spider-Man of all time, as the...
I wouldn't say he's the best Spider-Man of all time.
Quiet, you Neanderthal! Back to what I was saying. Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out this year in April, so I'd be sure not to miss it. But this movie unintentionally has a major spoiler for the Bros' upcoming movie, Avengers Endgame, by telling us that Spider-Man is alive and well, along with Nick Fury. What will this lead to?
Oh, I don't feel so good. Anyway, Avengers Endgame is directed by the Russo Bros and can also be coming out as this year in April. And it will supposedly close Phase 4 in the MCU. Well, you know, all the actors' contracts only made it this far, and with half the cast already killed off, kind of makes me wonder what they're going to do with the other phases in the MCU. And I wonder if any of the other movies will be as good as Infinity War. Who am I kidding? Of course it will.
And don't forget about Captain Marvel's sudden involvement in Endgame.
I'm guessing you still don't like that character, do you?
Meh, her movie was still better than Hulk's.
That's not far from the truth. Well, anyway, you probably can't tell, but I'm super excited for this film.
Everyone can tell.
Oh.
Anyways, I'm really excited too.
Really? I couldn't tell. Avengers Endgame comes out April 26th. So, prepare your popcorn, people, and rev up your engines!
Because we're in the Endgame now. Noel, will you close us off?
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
He means thank you for listening to the Salem High News.
Hey, I had it under control.
You didn't. You really didn't.